Nocturne, Toten, Verrucht, and Shinonuma are all beloved classic zombie maps. And although these maps added a lot of features that we love today, there was something missing. And that missing piece to the perfect setup formula was of course the Pack-a-Punch introduced on Reese. For the price of 5,000 points, the player can turn their standard weapon into a Pack-a-Punch version, which makes it stronger and gives it more ammo. Some weapons completely transformed, like the Panzerschreck, which turned it into a rapid-fire rocket launcher. Needless to say, the Pack-a-Punch introduced on this map would become one of the staples of Call of Duty Zombies moving forward. But unlike the perks and wall weapons, you did not have instant access to the Pack-a-Punch. You actually had to do a task in order to unlock it. Now, for it being the first ever Pack-a-Punch quest, it's actually really simple. All you have to do is open up the map and link 3 teleporters, but as you would see later on, this Pack-a-Punch quest would become more and more complicated. When Black Ops 1 came around, every single map except the World at War remasters did have a Pack-a-Punch machine, just further instilling the fact that this would be a staple from now on. Whether it was linking teleporters, flipping DEFCON switches, or riding the lunar landers, basically these processes were super simple to obtain the Pack-a-Punch, at least in the first half of Black Ops 1. The first major innovation that we saw with the Pack-a-Punch machine would be seen on the map Call of the Dead. This map featured multiple locations for the Pack-a-Punch, and every few rounds or so, this thing would move around. This would be seen a few more times throughout the years when it comes to zombies, but it would not become a major staple, but this is the first time that we ever saw this, so I felt like I had to mention it. But Black Ops 2 is where things really started to make a major change in terms of Pack-a-Punching itself. So this game basically allows you to Pack-a-Punch a single weapon multiple times. For the price of 2,000 points, you will be allowed to put that weapon back in the Pack-a-Punch machine, and in return, you will get that weapon back, not with more ammo, but with a different attachment than it had before. So as you see in this gameplay here, I put the B23R pistol back in the Pack-a-Punch, and now I have a new attachment, which is the Fast Mag. Black Ops 2 was also the first Call of Duty Zombies game that had some pretty cool looking and unique camos, like the blue 115 camo that is found on Origins, or the Ritual camo that's on Mob of the Dead. Now, this is a little bit overplayed nowadays. We basically always expect some type of crazy reactive camo, but back in the day, this was a really cool thing, and it made specific maps stand out over others. It is important to mention that you cannot double Pack-a-Punch every weapon in this game. It's only a select few. Mainly the weapons that were brought back from Black Ops 1 are the culprit here that cannot be double Pack-a-Punched. There is a little bit of overlap, but generally speaking, that is the rule with this. Double Pack-a-Punching in Black Ops 2 really is not that crazy, to be honest, but when it comes to our next game, this is where multiple Pack-a-Punches get a little insane. Exo Zombies is one of the most unplayable zombies modes in Call of Duty history, and just one of the reasons why is because of the Pack-a-Punch system in this game. Not only are the weapons, generally speaking, just very weak, but when you Pack-a-Punch them, you really just don't get a whole lot out of it. At first glance, it might look pretty good. It's only 2,500 to Pack-a-Punch, that's half the price of normal. But what you get in return is absolute garbage. You will have to Pack-a-Punch your weapon upwards of 25 times in order to get the maximum damage output. And each time that you Pack-a-Punch for 2,500 points, it slightly, barely gets stronger each time, meaning that basically all of the money that you make in that match has to go towards this one weapon, just dumping all these points into it. And with how bad Exo Zombies game mechanics are and just how difficult this game can be, especially on maps like Infection, the last thing that you want to worry about is Pack-a-Punching your weapon 25 times. It's absolutely ridiculous. I can't believe that this even made it past the drawing board. If you've played Exo Zombies before, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. It is literally unplayable. But when we go to Black Ops 3, the multiple Pack-a-Punches were fixed, or at least better than this, in my opinion. Black Ops 3 allows you to Pack-a-Punch your weapon as many times as you want, but it works way differently in this game than in Exo Zombies. Your first Pack-a-Punch will of course be 5,000 points like always, and it will do the same effect that the previous Treyarch games did. It just makes it stronger and gives it more ammo. It might give it some type of cool little gimmick, but generally speaking it is the same. When you Pack-a-Punch a second time, you will notice that first off, it's only 2,500 points, and secondly, it gives you what is called an alternate ammo type. For those who don't know, the alternate ammo types are really, really good in this game. In fact, they are so good in Black Ops 3 that they're actually better than a few of the wonder weapons in this game. And the reason why is because when you have these alternate ammo types, you basically have an infinite damage bullet every so often when you fire. Basically, you shoot into a horde, and then wait a couple seconds depending on which one you have, and then you'll be able to shoot back into that horde again and insta-kill them. These things have been looked at as a little controversial because, yes, they do make basically every weapon usable, but some people think that it makes the game too easy. Back in the old days, before you had these AATs, you had to use a wonder weapon, and you had to use the ammo that you had available to you. You had to know how to use traps. You had to know how to use the map knowledge to get you to high rounds. But when it comes to Black Ops 3, you could just get a wall weapon and have infinite ammo with an infinite damage weapon. I personally think that they are pretty cool. I just think that they're a little bit too overpowered in this game. I do like the fact that these weapons can be usable on higher rounds, and I think it does add gameplay depth, but at the same time, it also takes away from some high round strategies that involve traps and really knowing how to optimize ammo with wonder weapons. Infinite Warfare went back to the old Pack-a-Punch system, only allowing a single Pack-a-Punch, unless you beat the Easter egg, then you would be able to double Pack-a-Punch your weapon, but that was it. You can only Pack-a-Punch it one more time, and that was all. World War II zombies did not have any double Pack-a-Punch system whatsoever, but it did add a new mechanic. And that new mechanic was that you can now buy ammo for your Pack-a-Punch weapons at the Pack-a-Punch table. Traditionally, you could do this with wall weapons, but this game added a way for box weapons to get ammo when they were Pack-a-Punch, which is a pretty cool idea. Black Ops 4 completely reworked the Pack-a-Punch system in a very controversial way. You had to Pack-a-Punch your weapon upwards of 5 times in order to get the maximum damage out of it. Now, only the first Pack-a-Punch would be 5,000 points, everything after that would be 2,500, but still, the fact that you have to basically put 15,000 points into a weapon is kind of annoying just so you can get double damage, when double tap, which was originally in zombies, could have just been put here and made things a lot easier, but there is no double tap in this game. After fully pack-punching your weapon, you can actually throw it back in there for 1,500 points and re-roll another alternate ammo type. The alternate ammo types are a lot worse in this game than they were in Black Ops 3. They're not necessarily as powerful, however, if you're playing the Chaos maps, each alternate ammo type actually does affect one of the Catalyst zombies in a different way, but I really just don't think that that is that important, considering the fact that there are multiple different Catalysts and you can only run one single alternate ammo type. I actually do respect the AATs in Black Ops 4 because they're not outright terrible, they're not unusable, but they're also not extremely overpowered like the BO3 ones, so for that, I'll say good job. But we are not done with Black Ops 4 yet, and that is because the last DLC map, Tog der Toten, has the Golden Pack-a-Punch. The Golden Pack-a-Punch machine is really good in this game because it allows the player to Pack-a-Punch their weapon one single time for 5,000 points, and voila, it is fully packed as if you have Pack-a-Punched it 5 times, which is absolutely amazing. 5 Pack-a-Punches for the price of 1, and considering the fact that it is really not that hard to obtain either, as you can see here, I got it on round 12, it is an absolutely amazing thing to have in this game. The problem is that it's only on one map. I guess it does make this map a bit more unique in its own way, but still. Black Ops 4 would be the last time that we ever had a sort of resembling classic Pack-a-Punch system, and moving on to the modern zombie games, this is where things get even more controversial. When you Pack-a-Punch your weapon on Cold War zombies, you will be shown this menu system upon walking towards the Pack-a-Punch. And this menu is terrible. If you have any zombies next to you at all, it's probably going to get you killed, because having to deal with the menu and exit out of it and walk away, I don't know. I get that that might be a skill issue, I just think it's extremely infuriating. But the real issue here is that you now have to Pack-a-Punch your weapon 3 times to get it to max damage. This itself is not bad. The problem is the prices. Your first Pack-a-Punch is 5,000 points. I don't think anyone's complaining there, but the second Pack-a-Punch is 15,000, and your third one is 30,000, meaning that you have to spend a total of 50,000 points to get the maximum damage output of a weapon in this game. This honestly wouldn't even be so bad if it wasn't for Modern Zombies' awful point system. I'm actually a fan of Modern Zombies, but the point system has got to go. I hope they fix that when BO7 comes out. Either way, it is what it is. You could also now select which alternate ammo type you want on your weapon instead of having it randomized. So, I guess that's cool, but the alternate ammo types really just don't feel super powerful in this game, but I guess it is still pretty cool. Vanguard Zombies basically copied the Cold War Pack-a-Punch system. It's the same idea, 5,000, 15,000, and then 30,000 per level of Pack-a-Punch. But what makes Vanguard Zombies, in my opinion, have a better system than Cold War is the fact that there are no weapon rarities in Call of Duty Vanguard, which is absolutely amazing. This makes it feel like a much more traditional Pack-a-Punch system than what we're used to when it comes to Black Ops Cold War and Black Ops 6. But what makes Vanguard Zombies Pack-a-Punch system so much better than the other games, in my opinion, that are close to it, is the fact that you can save a lot of points on Pack-a-Punch. As you can see here, I just got a purple LMG. Now, don't get confused, this is not a purple rarity LMG, this is a double Pack-a-Punched LMG, meaning that if I were to have traditionally Pack-a-Punched this thing, I would have had to have spent 20,000 points to get it to double Pack-a-Punch. This also applies to wall weapons as well, so the fact that you can save a lot of money by just hitting the box or buying a wall weapon, in my opinion, proves that this is the superior Pack-a-Punch system when it comes to modern-day zombies. But Black Ops 6 did go back to the Cold War Pack-a-Punch system. The only difference is that there is no menu that pops up when you Pack-a-Punch in this game. But you still have, again, the 5,000, 15,000, and 30,000 point different tiers of Pack-a-Punch. And there is one more other difference. The alternate ammo types are now found in the arsenal instead of the actual Pack-a-Punch machine. And the alternate ammo types actually affect specific boss zombies better than others in this game, so that is a slight difference. But that's it. We have officially reached the end of the line, at least for now. From the Black Ops 7 beta that I played on the Van Horn Farm map, you actually can Pack-a-Punch on that map, and it's exactly the same as BO6. So let's see if they change that when the game actually comes out or during the curse mode. We'll have to wait and see. But that's going to conclude today's video. Thank you all so much for watching, everyone. This has been the history of the Pack-a-Punch and Call of Duty Zombies. This was a fun one to go back and make. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and do all that amazing stuff. And I'll see y'all in the next one.